traders from across the globe. Thank you so much for tuning in to my 2,275th edition of Short-Term Trading Live with Oscar Carboni. Traders, welcome again and thank you. Listen, this video number 2,275 is coming at you on a Monday night for trading, Monday night through Tuesday. Make sure you subscribe to these videos so you know when the next one comes out. We try to get them out nightly and timely, as well as this. Thank you all for tuning in to my 2 p.m. updates. You guys are great. I do a YouTube live every day, or at least every day humanly possible, at 2 p.m. Eastern. And many YouTubers have been tuning in. So thank you so much, YouTubers. I hope the rest of you continue to flock in. So remember, this is an interesting, dangerous game. Put stops in, put them in first. We lost money today. Not a big amount, but still we lost today. Our stop didn't get hit. We got out of the trade at the end of the day without the stop being hit, but we were losers, and that's the way the day ended. So know that. 39 years in the game, we had a losing Russell trade today. It's not easy, and you must put those stops in first. Anyone can lose in this game. If you understand that, well, let's get moving, traders. We've got some interesting topics on the board, but, you know, right before I get to what's behind me, I want to mention a conversation that we were having in my trading room today, and a conversation I had over the weekend when I had a meeting with some pretty high-level traders from around the world. They ended up in Vegas. We had a meeting, and some things came up, and I made some really interesting observations for them, and it seemed to have opened up their eyes a little. So, you know, back in 2008-9, when we had the massive crack in the markets, the Treasury or the government created massive debt called TARP, right? What was it? Troubled Asset Relief Program, TARP, if I remember right. When we created TARP, the price of crude was at 145 and dropping, and it literally just dropped the entire time that we did stimulus. So we had a high price of crude dropping. Interest rates were high, and we pushed them all the way down. The government pushed them all the way down to like zero practically. So interest rates were going down, crude was going down, and those TARP loans, that money was handed to banks, and banks were told, we want warrants or stock for the same principal. We want the principal back. We want 5% interest. So when the government gave out those trillions of dollars in TARP money, they had companies, big banks, on the hook for interest, for the principal, and they received really cheap stock, which went up high, sky high, and the government sold out. They were able to pay themselves back. The government was in a position to get paid back. Now take us to 2020. COVID shows up. We created 2 to 3 times the size of the debt that we put out, maybe more, for 2008-9 we created in 2020 for COVID. But there's a difference. Crude was really cheap when this started, really cheap. It went under 40, negative $40 a barrel. It went under zero. Crude was cheap. Crude's been going up ever since we got into this mess. Interest rates are cheap now, but they have to go up, right? You hear it. The Fed's going to have to raise them. And the money this time, it wasn't given to a bank that was on the hook. It was given away. It was, if it was lent out, they basically gave the money away, right? They freed you of that debt. And they spent the rest of it on medical supplies. That money has been burnt up. It is gone. Nobody owes it to the government. Unlike 2008-9, they lent out this much and got back that much. 2020, they burnt in a fire this much and can't get any of it back because we've set up no mechanism like we did in 2008-9 to get paid back. So my point to them was this cannot end the same way the 2009 to 2020 rally did, because we're on the opposite end of the spectrum. There's no way to pay back the debt. They're trying to raise taxes. The only way left to pay the debt would be major corporations getting a huge tax break and being told you must put X amount of people to work for this major tax break. That would probably help jumpstart paying back that bill. That's about the only mechanism left, and what they're about to do to that mechanism is shoot it by raising the corporate taxes. So if interest rates go up and taxes go up and crude is going up and there is no way to pay them back because there's no way to pay them back because they didn't put anyone on the hook to pay them back, how could this possibly end as rosy as 2009 through 2020. So that's the point I brought up to them. Remember that. Crude was really high, but on its way down and just kept dropping. Same thing with interest rates. On the way down, just kept dropping. And the top money were loans tied to interest and principal back and great profits on stocks. This time around, crude is skyrocketing. Interest rates are trying to go up. The Fed's going to keep them down if they can, but they need to go up. And the money was burnt in a fireplace 3 times the amount that they made in profits on the top money. I don't imagine in the end that works well. We'll see what happens. Being that we're day traders, we'll do what we need to do. I wanted to bring that up to you because I thought it was a great conversation I had, and I thought maybe it would help enlighten you. Completely opposite picture this time when we gave the country a stimulus. Don't know what it'll mean. Let's do our day trading. So, for day trading on 6/22, Bitcoin and Ethereum look terrible. Wait till you see the charts, just terrible. Nasdaq looks like it's gaining its legs back with a question mark. We need at least another day to figure out if Nasdaq's gaining its legs back or not, or if it's just another volatile run up before another one down. So we need a test day on Tuesday. The dollar up, up, up for the last few sessions, 3, 4, 5 sessions. And you know what crude did? Up, up, up as well as the dollar? No, that's not supposed to happen, kids. Crude is on its way up. Not even $8 soaring could knock crude down in the last few days. And then grains look interesting. If you want to find a trade where you may be able to get in and catch an upside move, I think the grains will be there for you. Traders, we are going to announce, or I guess this is what's called announcing, our next Omni camp. It's the only one scheduled so far for the end of this year. Will be September 14th through the 17th, 18th, I don't know, somewhere around September 14th. Anyway, if you want to come out to camp, make sure you shoot me your applications as soon as possible. I literally have a list of people who already want these seats. I'm willing to take in a few more applications and then choose between all of you. So get your Omni Camp applications in so you can learn this craft from me right here in my home office. Traders, with no further ado, let's go! Look at some charts. Traders, Nasdaq daily bar chart, right? Here you go. These are all the daily bars, all the action that we've seen. This, basically, a chart, is a visual look at all of the reports that have come out, all the reports that are coming out, reactions to those reports, anything that companies that are part of the Nasdaq might be releasing. Someone's cooking the books, someone's not cooking the books. Any of that, what the government's going to do, it's all right here on the chart. The chart is a visual look of all of that with all the static and noise removed. That's what I love about charts. Anyway, you're looking at the Nasdaq in this channel. Why I'm saying I think the Nasdaq's starting to gain its legs is this was the previous high that we've ever seen. We got there, failed getting above it, had a big drop. Since then, we've been in this smart channel, but look, we are above those contract highs again. And look right here. Same thing that happened here, what happened here, and when the line started here, you bounced right off that line on Nasdaq and went straight to here today. Nice recovery. So I say that looks like Nasdaq gaining its legs technically. We'll give it one more day and make sure that's what's going on. I think that you could probably find yourself in the grain markets tomorrow and look for a nice fat rally if you buy into a deep dip. And then look at this, traders, the dollar index. Look at how much rally this dollar index has put in. Look at that from here. Massive rally, right? So if crude oil and dollars are on a teeter-totter, if you will, right? Seesaw. If crude is here and dollars are there, if dollars going up, shouldn't crude be going down because crude is priced in dollars? Right? That's what normally happens. So you'd expect a massive run-up in dollars like this to knock crude down. But instead, crude, throughout that whole dollar rally, just maintained and put in all-time new highs. That's crazy. Now remember, traders, when crude gets into the 70s, it's not so dangerous. When it gets into that 75-plus zone, it's a big problem. $70+ dollar crude will wipe away that euphoric mood. Now, the first time crude got to 73 last week, you've seen down days come in the stock market. Crude dropped as well a little bit, but now crude's back up higher than 73. This can't last too long. If we start to see this price, you're going to see indices starting to feel it a little bit. So, crude runs up while the dollar runs up. Not usual. Crude should have had a down segment like here while the dollar ran up. Then there is Ethereum and Bitcoin. Traders, Ethereum has been leading Bitcoin. Traders have asked me all day today what I think about Bitcoin. Well, here's what I'll tell you. Ethereum put in this pennant flag, came under the average, and broke down lower than that pennant flag and just keeps on going. And tonight, if you add tonight's bar, and it's down there. I think Ethereum is leading, and if that's the case, Bitcoin is about to follow. Bitcoin's still just getting away from that pennant flag, has not gotten lower than the formation yet, and is on the way to the downside. Let's compare the two. Look at this right here. I think that is the fate of what you see to the left. All right, traders, I will see you all at livewithoscar.com.